Let us begin our journey into Python plotting. Welcome to Scatter Plots and Histograms in Python. We will explore two of the most useful plots for understanding data, scatter plots and histograms. This lesson is for absolute beginners. We will go step by step, learning how to load data, plot it, and read what the plots mean. You will also try some practical exercises and see a mini-project example using real-world sales data. Running the cell now. Before we write code, make sure you have pandas and Matplotlib installed. Now, let us set up our Python environment. We want to stop annoying warning messages from showing while we work. We are importing a module named warnings. This will block warning messages so you can focus on the code. Running the cell now. Let us set up the plotting libraries next. These two lines set up pandas and Matplotlib. Pandas helps us load and work with tabular data like spreadsheets. Matplotlib is a library we use to draw and save plots. Running the cell now. Next, we will load a real-world dataset to use for our plots. Let us see how to get the data we will use. Data setup. We will use a real retail sales dataset called shampoo sales. This data shows monthly shampoo sales over 3 years. We will load the data from a CSV file straight from the internet. Running the cell now. Get ready for our first code, downloading and looking at the dataset. We will now fetch the data, load it into pandas, and check its dimensions. The first line is a comment describing the action. We saved the internet address of our CSV file as a string. We use pandas to read and load the CSV file into a table, calling it shampoo. We print the shape to see how many rows and columns the data has. The .head method shows us the first 5 rows of the data table. For a quick look. Running the cell now. What do you notice about the column names and values in this table? Let us look closer at the data's columns and types. We add a comment for clarity. This line prints out what type of data each column holds. This helps us know if there are strings or numbers in each column. Running the cell now. Next, let us make the month column usable as dates. We need to make sure our month column is in a date format for time series plots. Here, we are replacing the month column with a range of monthly dates starting from January 1901, matching the number of rows. Now, we are converting the month column into proper datetime objects so we can plot time on the x-axis. Running the cell now. Practice. Why do you think dates matter when plotting sales data over time? Let us make our first plot, a simple line plot of sales by month. This is a comment, it tells us what the plot will show. We set the size of the plot for better visibility. We use the plot function to draw sales against the month. The title gives our plot a readable name. This label tells what the bottom axis shows, the month. This label shows what the left axis measures, the sales number. This command displays the actual plot inside Jupyter. Running the cell now. Line plots are great for showing how data changes over time. Next, let us explore scatter plots. Let us learn what scatter plots are and why they are useful. What is a scatter plot? A scatter plot is a type of graph that uses dots to show the relationship between two numeric variables. Each dot shows a pair of values. Scatter plots can show patterns, clusters, and if two things are related. Running the cell now. Ready to create one? Let us dive in. Now we will make a scatter plot showing how sales change over each month. This is a comment explaining the code. We choose the figure size to make it easy to see. We use scatter instead of plot to show points for each month and sale. The color argument makes the dots teal. We add a title so we remember what we are looking at. We label the month's axis. We label the sales axis. We show the scatter plot within the notebook. Running the cell now. Notice how the dots move up over time? That shows a trend as sales rise. Let us create a fake column to imagine how much we spent on advertising, then check if more spending means more sales. The first line adds a message about why we are creating more data. We import NumPy, a math library for numbers. Setting the random seed keeps our random numbers predictable for practice. We add a column to track advertising spending, randomly chosen between 200 and 400 for each month. Now we write a message about making the advertising scatter plot. We pick a figure size. We show dots for each advertising spend and matching sales value. The points are colored green here. A title helps us remember what we are comparing. This label means the horizontal axis shows ad spending. This label means the vertical axis shows shampoo sold. The plot comes up so we can see if there is any pattern. Running the cell now. Do you spot any upward trend? Sometimes, scatter plots reveal useful relationships for businesses. Let us switch to histograms, another plot you will use a lot. What is a histogram? A histogram helps show how often values appear in a dataset. It groups values into bins and shows how many fall into each bin with bars. Histograms are great to see where most values lie, like seeing which sales are common or rare. Running the cell now. Keep in mind, histograms are for one variable at a time. Let us make a histogram to see how our sales are spread out. A comment to track what the code does. Set figure size so we see details. The hist function groups sales numbers into 8 equal ranges, or bins. The bars show how many months had sales in each range. Add a clear title. The x-axis label shows the sales values. The y-axis label tells how many months fall into each group. This brings up the plot in the notebook. Running the cell now. Which range of sales happened most often? The tallest bar tells you. Change how many bins you use to see if the shape changes. A comment encourages experimentation. We keep the plot size the same. Now, we break sales into only 3 groups instead of 8. The alpha argument makes the bars slightly see-through. A new title shows we have changed the number of bins. Sales go on the x-axis. Counts go on the y-axis. Show the plot. Running the cell now. Try different bin counts below to better understand your data. We can also compare the shape of 2 sets of numbers on one histogram. A comment notes what this block shows. We set the size for clarity. We pass 2 columns in a list so they plot together with 8 shared bins. The alpha setting makes each group partly transparent, and labels identify both bars. The plot title tells what we are comparing. Sales and advertising go together on one axis. We show months counting up the side. Legend boxes tell which color is which column. We display the plot. Running the cell now. Do the 2 groups look similar or different? Overlapping histograms help spot differences fast. Let us see why you want to check your data before plotting. Handling missing or bad data in plots. Real datasets sometimes have missing or unusual values. These can confuse plots. It is a good habit to check for missing numbers before plotting and to decide how to handle them. Running the cell now. Let us quickly check for missing values in our shampoo dataset. This step will tell us if any data is missing. The comment reminds us what this code will do. We use .isNull and .sum to count empty values in every column. Running the cell now. If you ever find missing numbers, you should fill or remove them before you plot. If our dataset had missing values, this would create a clean copy with those rows removed. Comment: prepare safe data. Here, we make a cleaned-up version called shampoo_clean that leaves out any rows with empty spots. Running the cell now. Let us use this clean data for later steps too. Let us link what we learned to real work situations. How histograms and scatter plots help in real life. Businesses use scatter plots to find trends and patterns. Histograms show what is normal or rare. Both help make better decisions, faster. Let us try a mini project to explore this more. Running the cell now. Let us find the 5 best sales months. This can help a business plan for busy times. A comment describes what our mini project does. We reorder the data so the months with highest sales come first, then pick the top 5. We print out just the month and sales columns for our top performers. Running the cell now. How might a business use this information? Now let us highlight those best months directly on our scatter plot. This comment sets up the purpose. We start a new scatter plot. All months are shown as light dots. Top performers are bigger red dots, so they stand out. This title reminds us what is special in this plot. Month goes on the x-axis. Sales are on the y-axis. The legend explains what each dot color means. The plot will pop up for us to see. Running the cell now. Practice, can you adjust the code to show the bottom 5 months instead? Let us try letting the user pick which column to plot in a histogram. The comment says this is for practice. We import built-ins for input, making typing work the same everywhere. Ask the user which column they want, sales or advertising. If what the user types matches a column name, we make a plot. Open a new plot window. Make a histogram using the chosen column. It uses 6 bars to split up the data. Title is built using the column picked. Match X label with the choice. Add a Y-axis label. Show the plot. Otherwise. If the column is not there, print a helpful message. Running the cell now. Try typing sales and then advertising to see both histograms. What do you notice about their shapes? Before we wrap up, here are some tips to make your plots shine. Tips for clearer plots. Always label your axes and add titles. Use colors to highlight differences. Adjust bin sizes or dot sizes to avoid clutter. Try different plot types with the same data to get new insights. Running the cell now. These small changes make your plots much easier to understand. Let us try a challenge, make scatter plot dots larger when advertising spend is higher. A comment sets up our challenge. We use a formula so months with higher ad spend get bigger dots. Start the plot. Now, dot size depends on advertising. High advertising months will stand out as large dots. Title tells us what visual trick is being used. Months are labeled as usual. Sales are the vertical axis. Show it all on the canvas. Running the cell now. Practice, can you change the code to color the dots by advertising instead of size? Let us look back at what you have learned today. Recap, what did we learn? How to use pandas and Matplotlib for plots. What scatter plots and histograms show, and their best uses. How to load, check, and clean real data before plotting. Ways to highlight data for business insight. With these skills, you can start exploring any new dataset. Running the cell now. Keep trying out these ideas. The best way to learn is by doing. You did a great job learning the basics. Here is your YouTube call to action. Thanks for learning with us. If this lesson helped you, please like and subscribe to our channel. Try your own scatter plots and histograms on a dataset you are curious about. Happy coding! Running the cell now. We hope to see you again for the next beginner lesson.